Hello, my friends. As promised, 10:30, gonna go live to talk all about the flu. I'm just gonna shut down Facebook here so it's not annoying. And then we can talk about the flu, and I'll wait for you guys to kind of build up here and jump on board. And once you guys start coming in, I'll start talking. I'm just gonna shut down all my things and sounds on my computer. So for those of you joining us, we are talking everything flu, everything about the flu, and what we can do to prevent, what we can do once we get it, and once we can do kind of when we get over it. So I see a bunch of you jumping in now. You guys can say hi. We'll wait. People are going to have to wait and see that we're live before we get a bit of an audience. And I'll start. The flu is pretty interesting, and as we know, it's quote-unquote flu season, and all the advertisements are out to go and get your non-effective flu shot, and there's lots of fear-mongering, and I know a lot of people work in workplaces where they're forced to get the flu shot, or they're feared into getting the flu shot. Thanks for staying up for me. Hi, guys. So we're kind of just going to talk about it, and we can talk about, kind of more of like a natural flu shot, and whatnot. So thanks for joining me, guys. And I'm still just going to wait a little bit for people to realize that we're live, and then we can talk. Again, if you're just joining us, we're going to be talking about the flu, preventatives, and what to do when we get the flu, and kind of what we can do after if you get the flu. Personally, I haven't had a flu in, I don't know, forever, and I'm thankful for that. I haven't always been healthy, but I've always been a plant-based eater, so maybe that's kind of worked in my favor for many years. So kind of let's just review what the flu is, and basically who's susceptible to the flu. Who's susceptible to the flu? Everybody is susceptible to the flu, okay? They say we're more high risk in young kids, pregnant women, and those of us who are over the age of 65, okay? And why is that? Well, suppressed and depressed immune systems, and people who are nutrient deficient. So if you take all that into consideration, and we think about how poorly the majority of us eat to begin with, and then we throw in how we beat up our immune system with everything that we do, and then flu season comes around and you're just a big fat target for getting the flu. So stress, okay, lack of sleep, exposure to toxins, okay, all of those things are gonna make you have a better chance at getting the flu, okay? So the flu season prevention should be an all year round prevention. It shouldn't just be, okay, winter's coming and people are like, oh, it's cold out, I'm gonna get sick, I'm gonna get the flu. Let's also look at the fact that the flu is actually a contagious respiratory illness, and it's caused by influenza, okay? And that's a virus, and these viruses are spread through the air from person to person, okay? So first of all, some of you may or may not know, the flu, we actually contract the flu, okay, ready? Through our ears and through our nose, okay? Not so much through our mouth, but through our ears and through our nose, okay? That's where it comes in. So then you have people obsessively washing hands, antibacterial gels, okay? You're now creating you're becoming more resistant now, non-resistant to the flu, because you're killing off things that are going to ward off germs and infections. So by always washing your hands and using antibacterial those hand gels, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're making yourself more of a target to pick that up. Okay, so what we wanna understand is that flu prevention should be like an all-year thing, okay? We shouldn't just say, okay, like I said, it's winter, okay, flu's coming in. Yeah, that's the biggest time for the flu, sure, because, there's so much more going on. Yeah, it's cold. It breaks down our immune system too. But if you can take care of your immune system all year, you have a very less chance of getting the flu. So what does that mean? Let's think. Sugar, okay? Sugar is going to suppress the immune system huge, okay? Every time you eat sugar, you suppress the immune system for 24 hours, okay? Processed foods, okay, dairy, which is going to be inflammatory, the grains that are going to be inflammatory, things that are going to cause inflammation and mucus in your body. These are things that are going to be like, you're broken down, your defense force isn't working. The more alcohol you drink, the more coffee you drink, you're burdening your liver's not producing that L-glutathione that's our army, that's our defense force, okay? So all of those things, it starts way back, way back. So if you take those preventative measures where you're eating a clean diet, you're eating a nutrient-rich diet, you're juicing, okay? Juicing's amazing all year round because what you're doing is you're fueling yourself at a cellular level, which is, again, fundamental to our health. So if we can take care of our cells, we know that all disease and virus and whatnot is fundamentally linked to our cells. So if we take care of our cells in a better fashion, then we can take care of our health in a better fashion. And the same thing with the gut. Our gut is, okay, it's not only our second brain, but it's our front row defense for our immune system, okay? So let's talk about, we talk kind of about that beaten up immune system and the lack of self-care all year round. So things that we're going to want to look at, obviously around flu season or even just like ongoing, just not in the doses that we're going to talk about, are things that you can want to do. So let's talk a bit about vitamin C. Okay, so obviously you guys know I'm big on Lipsimo vitamin C. Okay, I like Live On Labs. I don't sell it. I just prefer the brand. Where you can get a high dose of vitamin C packed into the cells to really strengthen your immune system, okay? When people get sick and they start taking these things, yes, they're going to work, but if you start taking them before, your chances of battling this out are like way, 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 way better, okay? So vitamin C, okay? So I like Lipsimo C, and I like elderberry, okay? Elderberry is really easy for kids to take. It's loaded with vitamin C and antioxidants. So that's going to help us fight the virus. So it's nutrients to naturally beat the flu, and it's something that's going to boost your immune system, okay? For all of my people who are taking the Asante Reds and Greens, right there you're doing yourself a service by packing in a massive amount of nutrients, all kinds of nutrients, to help protect your immune system and also keep your body alkalized. And when the body's alkalized, it's also harder for foreign things that they don't want to be there. It's not a happy place for them. They like acid. They want to be where it's lots of sugar and lots of crap going on where they can hang out and party. That's what they love. And what you'll see too is people are getting the flu, and they're getting the flu for a really long time. They're getting the flu for, I've seen on post 2 weeks, 3 weeks, okay? If you are in good health and you do get the flu, you can kick that butt. Like 24, 48 hours, you can knock out the flu, okay? So we talked about vitamin C. Okay, magnesium chloride. Okay, you guys hear me talk about that. This is like, sometimes I feel like I'm on repeat. Okay, magnesium chloride, not only is it amazing for a bazillion things and detoxing the body and giving the body life, it's essential for your lungs and your respiratory system. And we know that the influenza it's a respiratory virus, okay? So sometimes we don't think of it like that because, we have the body aches and we have all the other things that come before that we kind of like miss that. So that's also a wonderful mineral. Zinc is a really wonderful mineral too for around flu season, during flu season, and taking it at a bit of a higher dose too when you are with the flu, okay? Chlorophyll. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful all the time. But when you get the flu too, it cleanses your blood and it detoxes you. So that's good too, because you're going to flush out your system. What else we're going to talk about? Obviously, you guys know I'm pro enema, okay? I'm pro coffee enema. I would think if you were to have the flu, to dump 600% toxins and flush out the system could be a really good idea, followed by something like a probiotic and high dosing of that vitamin C and maybe a magnesium bath followed by that, just so you have that extra punch of nourishment. Okay, colloidal silver. I'll go, guys, hold your questions till the end. I'll do questions at the end because they distract me. Colloidal silver. So this is a bacteria and virus like destructor, okay? And it nabs the flu, and it nabs the flu really quick. And I would look at something like 3 to 6 times a day, like a teaspoon 3 to 6 times a day for the colloidal silver. This is a high dose specifically if you have the flu. This is not a preventative everyday taking thing. I wouldn't take colloidal silver every day either. Garlic, antiviral, okay? It has what we call allicin, and when that mixes with sulfur, that's going to kill off every microbe and every pathogenic microbe, okay? And really, shove it in your mouth, chew it, crunch it up, suck it back. Yeah, garlic won't kill you, will make you feel better. If you really that big of a baby, you can do it with a little bit of pink salt, tiny bit of honey, and a little bit of water, and get that out, okay? So that's great. Ginger, okay? Ginger's gonna warm the body. It's also antiviral, antibacterial. You can grate that up with even garlic, and you can make like a tea with a little bit of raw honey as well. Guys, hold the questions. I promise I'll go back to them. And that helps you, when we have the flu, we have mucus, the body's damp, right? So we want to kind of expel that, get that dampness out, warm up the body, heat up the body, right? Because when you have a fever, the body heats up as well because it wants to fight off whatever virus or bacteria is there. So keeping that body internally warm, okay? So even something like cayenne pepper or something that's going to help expel. Black pepper would be good for that too, okay? So we have that. I'm going to talk a little bit, brief essential oils. I don't want to go crazy, and I don't want this to be a super long live because it's just the flu. So again, we're going to look at cinnamon oil, we're going to look at clove oil, we're going to look at ginger oil. Again, these are going to help warm the body internally, okay? Just 1 drop, 2 drops, it's going to warm your body internally. Cinnamon and clove are amongst 2 of the highest antioxidants in the world. They have a huge antioxidant score, okay? They are super powerful, and we know how concentrated essential oils are and how effective they are, okay? So we have that. Eucalyptus and cypress promote circulation. So what we would want to do with those, because they're not really oils that we would want to use internally, again, you could diffuse them, you could rub them on your chest, okay, again, respiratory. You can also take sea salt with water, and take a couple drops of this eucalyptus essential oil and swish it around in your mouth. Don't swallow it, spit it out, okay? Those are going to be really good tips for getting out the flu. So again, there's always like oil of oregano, which is super powerful too. Not the essential oil of oregano. It's different. There's a difference. That's going to be really good for the flu. And it's eating well. If you get the flu and you want to go light, eat like juice. Have fresh pressed juice. Nourish your cells. Fight off you have pathogens in you, okay? It's always going to be beneficial. You can always take a probiotic. Probiotic's never going to harm anybody. You want to keep the nutrients coming in, and when you feel really shitty, you don't really want to eat. So if you can get those liquids in because you want to stay hydrated, you want to flush it out, I guarantee you your flu will be a lot less impactful, okay? We win, okay? Don't let the flu win. Most people who take care of themselves, for sure, don't get the flu, okay? Not to say they will never get the flu, okay? But the chances of someone getting the flu who generally takes good care of themselves doesn't get the flu. Like I said, I hadn't had the flu in a very long time. When I had moved to Montreal, I think 6 years ago, I got hit with something nasty, and actually I did vitamin IV therapy, 2 rounds in 24 hours, and I was done with the flu, but I actually thought I was going to die. Like, the flu is it hits hard, and you are so sick, because these are also new strains, right, of influenza that are coming out. And then there's the people who are getting the vaccines, and I'm confident that almost all of them end up, not all of them, but a lot of them get sicker, and they get hit with the flu. So those are kind of my go-tos for flu. And I'm sure some of you can hit your hearts and your likes, have used some of those things and know how impactful and how powerful that they've been. And they've really been able to knock out the flu. And that's the flu season. But remember, guys, taking care of yourself all year is the key. It's not just when flu comes around, okay? I'm going to pick up the phone from its resting place, and I'm going to just scroll back and quickly look at questions. Sorry, guys. Okay. Sorry, guys. Just looking to see what is here. I'm pretty sure my 9-year-old son has influenza right now. He has something going on. Okay, so use what we just spoke about to kind of help knock that out of him. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm scrolling all the way back here. How long would you keep elderberry syrup in the fridge? I made some a couple months ago and kind of forgot about it. Someone else could probably better answer that. I really actually don't have that answer. What doses of magnesium chloride would you recommend for adults? Kids also, mag, butter, or oil good to use alone, or do you still want to take some internally? Okay, so magnesium chloride, you can do bath, or you can take 1 part magnesium to 1 part water, so 1 cup, and you can make a spray. That's safe to spray in the mouth, that's safe to spray on the body. Use a good quality, like I always talk about magnesium chloride because I like that. Something you can do daily. The baths, if you're sick, you can also get into a bath, maybe evening when the body starts to really hit and starts to go into repair mode. And you may also know that like nighttime's the worst, okay? That's because the body starts to settle down and the body starts to go into repair mode. So we start to really feel the symptoms a lot more. Where do you get your enemas from? You can buy an enema bag on Amazon or a bucket, and just make sure you pick good quality coffee. I like Kicking Horse coffee because I know it's a clean source of coffee and it's Canadian made, and I'm Canadian proud. So, and I know that there's no toxins on their beans, so that's why I choose them. What else? Let's see. Yeah, someone says, I love using garlic to kill all viruses. Good. Our pharmacy, like our pharmacy, yeah, F-A-R-M, pharmacy is amazing, and we should use it. Someone just asked me about a homeopathic remedy. I don't have personal experience with it. I've seen a lot of noise about it. People talk about it. I'm not really into homeopathic stuff. I didn't study it, but from what I've heard and read, I've seen good results from it. Send me a message, Krista. What else, guys? Do you have any other questions? I mean, it's not that in-depth of a conversation or so, such a big conversation. I just wanted to kind of give my tips and whatnot on the flu. So I don't know if there are more questions or there's not more questions. I'll kind of hang out here. If you have questions, you can ask questions. I think I answered the ones that are here. But I can do a quick review for people who kind of just jumped on here. Someone just said, what's the big difference between flu and cold? Well, a cold could be bacterial. It doesn't necessarily have to be viral. And the flu, you can get a bad cold and have similar flu symptoms, and I would treat it almost the exact same way. There's nothing there that I said that wouldn't be reasonable to treat a cold. The symptoms are, you're going to have fever, body aches, chills, I feel like the respiratory aspect of the flu kind of kicks in like a little bit later if you don't kill it. So that deep cough, that mucus, you want to be expelling everything. So there can be so many reasons or symptoms for getting a cold or a flu, and they could be similar and interchangeable, and we don't really know which is which, right? You're not going to go to the hospital and they're going to start testing you and they're going to tell you, oh, you have this. It's the flu. Stay hydrated, stay warm, keep the body internally warm. Okay, we know that the things that I recommended. Again, guys, I talked about vitamin C. I don't make my own vitamin C, I buy it. You could also use something like Camo, which is a high content of vitamin C, but Lipsimol C really works effectively and fast in the body. Also, someone asked me something about stomach flu or influenza. For the stomach flu, these would all be really valid things you could do. You could also look at using a digestive oil to help move some things out. You could use activated charcoal in a capsule if it's a flu and if it's a bug in the stomach. But everything else that I mentioned, again, taking care of stress, okay, all year round, taking care of, getting enough sleep, which I'm terrible at, and, lessening the toxic load so that when you do get sick, your body can fight for you, right? So if you have a clean liver and your body can pump out that L-glutathione, your chances, again, of fighting something and having a strong immune system, you're going to win, right? So again, we talked about vitamin C. I talked about liposomal vitamin C. I talked about elderberry and its high vitamin C content. Anything loaded with antioxidants. I talked about using, Asante ongoing regularly, the reds and the greens, to give you packed full of nutrients to help build your immune system, to getting rid of fungus and parasites in your body. So again, you have a stronger defense force there. I forgot to talk about vitamin D, actually. So vitamin D is, obviously, we know it's a crucial vitamin. It's also immune boosting, and it's also pro hormone, and the body starts producing antimicrobials when you have enough. And when you use vitamin D during the flu, something like 5,000 IUs 2 to 4 times a day when you have the flu, or even 10,000 IUs twice a day during the flu, so that you can promote those antibodies or those antimicrobials, and you can pump vitamin D in, because it is so pro hormone, and it's it's a natural immune booster. Okay, so vitamin D. We talked about magnesium because of it's essential for magnesium chloride is essential for the respiratory system in the lungs. We talked about chlorophyll, keeping the blood clean and detoxing the body. We talked about enemas. Okay, we know that coffee enemas have the liver produce L-glutathione in really big amounts, which is your natural defense force. And we talked about it dumping toxins. Okay. We talked about elderberry syrup. I talked about colloidal silver, using about 3 to 6 times a day, a teaspoon. This is when you're actively in the flu, not as a preventative. We talked about eating garlic and eating ginger. I talked about essential oils. We talked about cinnamon, ginger. I talked about eucalyptus. I talked about cypress. The ginger, the cinnamon, the clove, they're heating, they're warming for the body. They're high antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiviral. I talked about using eucalyptus and cypress as means of circulation and getting your circulation moving to get mucus expelling from the body. Lemon, again, would be a good one for that. We don't want to use cypress internally. We want to use it topically on our bodies, on our arms and our legs. Okay, we want to talk about using eucalyptus again in a diffuser or topically on your chest, or you could take salt water and pink salt and water and gargle with eucalyptus oil in your mouth. And those were kind of the main points that I touched on. I'm just going to see here if I missed some questions. Okay, someone said, what type of vitamin D do you like to use? There's a one called, I think it's Live Wise is the brand that I like. It's generated off of sheep's wool. Okay, so it's a good form. I just lost my chat. I would always use a liquid vitamin D, not a powder or a, powder. I would always use a liquid vitamin D. Do you eat a whole food plant-based diet? Yes, I do. I've been a vegetarian since I was 12, and I've been vegan like the last 8 years. And even before I went vegan, I literally had like disgusting egg whites and goat cheese left in my diet. But since then, I've been completely vegan. But I did give up eating meat when I was 12 just by choice. I didn't know that it was going to be this whole cool thing and fad that people came into, and then realized, okay, this is kind of the right way to go. Let's see, what else? Anything else, guys? It was just supposed to be a big quickie, flu quickie. So do you have any other questions? Anybody? No? All right. Well, then I think I'm going to leave it here for you guys, and you can watch it, and I'll keep it short so it's not a long replay. You will definitely see me next week. It's my birthday week this week. I cannot believe it's my birthday this week, but it is. So maybe I'll do a birthday special of some sort for you guys. And that's it. Stay healthy, guys. Stay preventative. Take care of yourself all year around. Someone just asked me, can I touch on pregnancy and the flu? Yeah, for sure. The pregnancy and the flu, you're going to want to kind of take these same measures with the vitamin C and the magnesium and the elderberry syrup You know, keeping your immune system strong, vitamin D. There's nothing that I really touched on here that wouldn't be safe during pregnancy. Garlic, ginger, maybe watch the essential oils, but even cinnamon's okay. Lemon's going to be, okay. Those are okay during pregnancy. Eucalyptus is okay. There's nothing here that wouldn't be okay. So watch this back, and kind of you can see that. Is Amish butter okay to eat? Oh, I don't even know what that is. Thanks. So yeah, so guys, you can watch this back. I'm gonna leave it here. But again, just before I sign off, it's about taking care of yourself all year. So don't wait till flu season to start being proactive. Be proactive all year. You can use magnesium, you can use vitamin C, you can use oils, you can use CBD oil even when you're sick, okay? Because that'll take away those aches and those pains when you're not feeling well. Probably even have an effect on reducing fever, but making you also, get that rest, relax, keep you calm. But yeah, so it's about eating a clean diet all year round. You're human, indulge when you have to, but be responsible and being proactive in your own health all year round so that when the flu comes, you're the defender and you win and you don't get the flu. I'm confident that I could be around people with the flu and not catch the flu. And I wouldn't hesitate to be around someone who has the flu or actually be concerned actually being around someone that has the flu, because I know I have, and I know what I do daily to take care of myself not to get the flu. So that's kind of how I feel. Okay, so guys, this is going to be here for a replay. If you're coming on now, you've just watched the replay, and you can leave questions. People start yelling at me in the comments that I'm not answering them fast enough when I'm sleeping, and this is the replay. So this is the flu talk. Enjoy, guys. If you have questions, reach out. Thanks for coming, and I will see you guys soon. Stay away from the flu.